I never knew life could be so happy until I found the Lord. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and you're rocking with to the brunch. You're rocking with the brunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It is Wednesday. It's a winning Wednesday. We are winners through Christ Jesus, our Lord and Savior. We are so happy. Listen, we're a little discombobulated. If you are in the car and you're traveling downtown, be very careful because there's something new happening in the city, and it's called Trump traffic. If you didn't know, former President Donald Trump is in town to speak to the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists Convention, that's going down this week right here in Chicago. And Trump is a special guest speaker, but we'll talk more about that. But listen, we don't want to get you caught in any traffic jams, so try to avoid Michigan Avenue if you can for the next few hours because it is rough out there. But you know what's not rough? Life with Jesus. You know what? When we get back, we got so many great guests today, so much to talk about. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on Inspiration 1390. Hey, it's your man, Action Jackson. Feeling fed up with your Tanya. What time is it? She will call it 12:15. Lord. Going down Saturday, whoa! That Trump traffic didn't get you.
What? Trump is trafficking.
So we got a call-in guest now, and then we got an in-studio guest, but iHeart's phone lines aren't working.
I don't want no call-ins. Music and entertainment all under one roof. Visit What's up, so?
It's the Working While Black Expo is
coming. Nika, life is full of uncertainties, but your family's future does not have to be. With life insurance investments, you can secure your tomorrows today.
If you or anyone you know is uninsured, underinsured, or you just need
free assessment of your life insurance and investment plan, so you can be prepared for retirement, go ahead and give us a phone call at 815-277-6772. Again, that's 815-277-6772. And we'll talk to you soon. Attention motorists, get your new Buddy Bear yearly Buddy Pass for as low as $17 a month for the entire year, no matter where you are.
What's up, believers and saints and angels?
Every day, everyone. All year long, Buddy Bear members will receive exclusive perks and offers throughout the
No, when it's hat day. No, for real, it's not that bad today. That's BuddyBearCarWash.com. I have got some things to talk about exclusively online, and I cannot wait for you to get Instagram up, mister.
3, 2, 1. Okay, well, I say good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Is me next?
Nope, we got a caller on the line, an interview if we can.
Okay, so guys, listen. I'm going to wait for some more people to come in live on Instagram. But what's up, Facebook? Hey, Tina. How are you today? Oh, I want to put my hoodie on like Zoe.
Why? No, take your hoodie off.
It look cool.
Yeah, you look better without.
Wait. Let me get my hoodie on.
No, you look better without the hoodie.
No, I want that. No, I'm just kidding.
You look nice with the hat on.
Yeah. Anywho, today, what's going on, Larry McKinney? Well, hey, D-Lo, my purple hair sister.
If you can get the caller to call.
Somebody call right.
What's up, basketball mom? T-Mobster. Hey, Lance, are you back in Jamaica?
No,
What's
he's
up,
in
buddy?
town. He in the States.
So what we need to do?
Hey, listen. Hey, Patrick. So today's online exclusive topic.
Yes.
So I just want to know what won't we do to get the vote out, right? Because I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to see Megan Thee Stallion twerking for votes.
Oh my God!
But should that be an appropriate?
I feel like you was waiting on my response to this.
I'm just saying, I want to hear from all the saints, all the ain'ts, all the women.
We got to figure this out. I can't do a phone interview on my cell phone.
Well, that ain't what we're talking about right now. We're talking about.
I mean, if the Republicans gonna have Hulk Hogan up on stage ripping his shirt.
Well, true. Thank you. Wait, Zoe, ain't no.
I'm gonna tell you like my uncle told me, because my uncle was a little touched. Everything he does is okay because he's crazy. He gonna get a crazy pass. Now, I'm just saying, is it okay? Should we be promoting that? Because what you permit, you promote, right? So you permitted, now I love Megan Thee Stallion, don't get me wrong. I just don't know what's in the words of my daughter, was Beyonce like not available? She busy? Like she's.
I think Kamala promotes that stuff.
I think Beyonce was busy, but I also think it was Atlanta. She was pandering.
Kamala promotes that.
It was Atlanta, hot Atlanta.
Younger voter base.
I mean, I get it. I get that. I understand that. Fifi said it was a bit much. Not sure why no one suggested that she tone it down. What's up, my niece Lyric? Hey, Lyric.
That's the point.
What's up, believers, y'all? It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air. And you know what? Online, if you are not on our social media platforms and you are not partaking in our online exclusive topics, I promise you today you want to. Now, today we got a little stuck because Trump's traffic wasn't in effect.
Trump traffic
was in effect, y'all. But you know what? Trump is here tonight, right?
He's here now. He's speaking as we speak, because we were both invited to come and hear him speak, but I said we cannot not do the show, and we would have had to been there by 11:30 because doors are closing at 12.
Yes, well, I'm happy you made the choice you made because
I didn't really need to see Trump no way, but you know.
Well, let's switch gears for a second because I know that today and from now until the 99 days till the election, we're going to be inundated with politics. But Simone Biles celebrates Olympic win with pointed comment following ex-teammates' criticism. Simone Biles has seemingly clapped back at criticism from former teammate Michaela Skinner following the U.S. gymnastics team over in Paris, France on yesterday, Tuesday. So Simone, you know, she's 27 years old. She shared some photos of herself and her teammates, Sunny Lee, Jordan Childs, Jade Carey, and Hesley Rivera, celebrating their gold medal performances in the team gymnastics finals with the caption, "Lack of talent, lazy Olympic champions." Well, the Instagram post appears to be a response to controversial comments from Skinner, who's 27 also, who criticized the Team USA gymnastics in a YouTube video following the team selection on June the 30th. Well, besides Simone, I feel that the talent and the depth just isn't like it used to be, she said in the video, which has since been deleted. But for those of you who had seen it before it got deleted, you know what I'm talking about. So a lot of girls don't work as hard, she added. The girls last, but they just don't have that work ethic. So Biles appeared to respond in a post on Threads, which read, "Not everyone needs a mic and a platform." Skinner then posted a video defending her comments on Instagram stories, claiming that she had been misinterpreted or misunderstood. I want to know where the misinterpretation came from, or the misunderstoodness, if I can put it that way, came from. It was pretty clear what you meant. However, she later apologized in a statement on X, formerly known as Twitter, amid the online backlash. "It was not my intention to offend or disrespect any of the athletes or take away from their hard work," she wrote. But that ain't what you said, sis. Say what you said. Like, stand on what you said. You said, and I repeat, that the talent now is not like the talent it used to be. But now all of you guys are in the same age group, so how do you know? So she says, "Well, I take full responsibility for what I said, and I deeply apologize." No, you apologize that people started calling you on your comments. So Skinner and Biles both competed for the Team US at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Skinner retired after winning a silver medal on vault at the games, and after winning the team gold on Tuesday, Biles now holds the most Olympic medals of any in US gymnastics in history, adding to her title as the most decorated gymnast of all time. Simone Biles is the GOAT.
Yes. Yes,
the greatest of all time. So, you know, when you are the GOAT, first of all, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and heavy is the neck that brings home the gold.
You know what? That's a word right there.
Because you got a lot of haters, particularly when you're a minority and you're out performing people who are considering themselves to be the best in the world, and they're looking at you like, okay, how did you get to this platform? Hard work, dedication, and certainly not laziness. So Simone Biles is a lot of things, but guess what? She is not lazy. When I looked at that girl's glutes,
oh man,
her calves, her hamstrings, I was like, if I wasn't lazy, now that's me. If I wasn't lazy,
so I didn't get to see it live, but I cut the TV on. I'm in the baby's room and I'm playing with Maddox, and I see Simone Biles getting ready to come up. So I run in to change the channel for Valencia so she could see it, and then forgot to go back and watch it. But Whoopi said, and I know the believers can't see me, but she said the way she jumped in there, her legs spread like wings, like
she took flight.
That's what Whoopi said. Them girls took flight.
Yes, but you know what? She's not finished flying. First of all, I don't know where you go from here, Simone Biles, but I guess you just stay on a lateral course of perfection. You go higher and higher. Man, I am so excited for her. But you know what? Excitement doesn't get it. Congratulatory salutation, it doesn't get it. What gets it is hard work, faith in God, and a good support system, which she seems to have all of that. So our prayer for her is to for God to keep her, protect her, and keep her on the trajectory that she's on, that winning trajectory. Because you know what? We winners right here in the studio, and we're going to keep it moving, y'all.
And you know what? We're going to keep winning with joy, because the joy that we have, no matter what happens in our lives or around us, it cannot affect our joy. It's Lisa Bellamy, Tamara's favorite song, Joy, right here on the Brunch.
All right, so
I had a behind-the-scenes question for the first time.
You did?
Yeah, but I couldn't really. You know how to craft the questions good. I'm a little long-winded, so I don't.
Well, I didn't really need to craft this question. The video speaks for itself, and lots of people are chiming in on it. So Harris bringing Megan vibes, and Trump will bring sexy red vibes, according to T-Mobster Basketball Mom. So Enos waved, of course, and a lot of people are saying that maybe it's just not the platform. Maybe it was inappropriate. But now our our Gen Zers in the studio said, well, if Trump can bring Hulk Hogan on stage, but Hulk Hogan is like, what, 74? How old is Hulk Hogan? Somebody tell me. 87? 187. Okay, it's a lot of different things going on. 87, 187. I don't know. He's 70? Yeah, I don't want to see him without a shirt. In fact, I'm just saying. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got a buffness to him. I just don't want to see him without a shirt.
And that shirt, he didn't rip that for real. That was like, I wanted to say animatronics, but it wasn't animatronics. They like cut the thread in there so he can rip it apart. And Trump was so happy. He said almost brought a tear to his eye, I believe.
I saw a meme. I don't know if it was a meme where Trump was sitting in a bathing suit. I mean, a woman's bathing suit. Putin was standing up.
Oh, I'm like, that definitely was a meme, not a real picture.
And Elon Musk was buffed. I mean, he was like buffed up in his Speedos. And it was actually comical to me. So what is that saying, though? Well, the inference is that those three are homies. And I'm telling you now that depiction was definitely not favorable.
Anthony Bear2 Adams said, hey, Tam.
Hey, Anthony. How are you? Okay, y'all. Is that appropriate? Megan Thee Stallion. Now, I love Megan, as I aforementioned. I love her. Her body is amazing. Simone Biles takes the gold for bodies right now. But Megan is a strong runner-up. So, I
think it did what it needed to do. For the people it was trying to reach. No.
I knew you didn't.
Did she twerk?
She twerked with all caps.
But that's what she do, though.
The only reason you're saying that is because she had on some long pants. She wasn't as scantily clad as she normally is.
But she also didn't do a lot of the stuff that she really be doing on stage. She was toned down. Now, was that particular thing okay for the audience? I don't know about all that. But it wasn't like she was crazy. I just think that particular artist, what she's known for, the songs that she performed, I'm like, it's a little it's a little weird.
Well, you know what? You do have to read the room, though. As an artist, you are responsible for making sure that you bring the best light to your craft and to that audience, right? Yeah. So you're talking about something that is extremely impactful. I'm not talking about just entertainment. I'm talking about how it's going to impact lives from here on in.
Hold on, now, can I cut you for a second? Sure. So I want Justice to go out there and make sure they had a link for StreamYard so when they come in, it can be seamless. I want Zoe to tell me how long this song got because we run out of time.
We can cut the song.
I want to respond to your comment too. If Megan Thee Stallion would have got up there and didn't twerk, that would have been a problem.
She could have twerked, but I think she should have like twerked.
But you said she had pants on, ain't like she had booty shorts like normal, right?
She had booty pants on.
But you can't have your big voluptuous body.
What are you doing that for? What are you doing that for?
You're a woman. I'm saying, like, you're a woman. You understand. You know, your curves show sometimes.
She looks good. She looked great.
But I think if she wouldn't, I think we're people that if she wouldn't have been authentically herself, they would have been tearing her to shreds. Oh, okay, I ain't voting for Kamala. She changing Megan.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example. The CPS invited and paid Jeremiah the singer and his song, his birthday sex. That was his intro song.
Oh Lord!
Listen,
it gets better.
It gets better. Now I hope you guys can hear me. Then CPS, after he performed, they denounced him. They knew what his song was, and they denounced him and said that he was inappropriate for the event, right? Now, let me just say this. People don't just show up and they give you a mic. You had to pay a deposit.
Yeah.
You had to research it. You had to have a contract. You had to put together a flyer. And you knew that was his debut song, which led him to #1. I don't know if it was
just for a minute.
He's a product of CPS.
Right. So I think
to your point when you said that's what Megan is known for, twerking. Now since then, when he's had other invites and he's sung that song, he sung it and read the room. If that was appropriate, he would do this radio version, right?
Right.
But you're right. You knew when you hired Megan that she was that. Now, what someone said on the comment was, why didn't anyone ask her to tone it down?
Right. But we have to remember the head, the leader, the boss, the CEO doesn't always make the decisions, right? You got a team, and we kind of discussed this too. You know, you got a team that...
No, make no decisions.
No, he do make decisions. You Republican. Listen.
Someone asked me today if you were. 2 people asked me today if you were the resident Republican.
Who, Adam?
I said no. He wants to vote for.
He definitely is a Republican.
No, are you a Republican?
Yeah, he
never voted Republican one time. You just said this for months and stuff.
I said this for years.
You've been saying that, but it's not true.
Don't make it true. I voted Democrat every.
I got a 22-inch waist. I don't got one, but I said it.
Adam is a low-key Republican. And listen, and let's ask him his voting record.
Marcel's a Republican. It's true.
Yeah. Well, they not asking.
They said we both are.
They not asking because I said it. They asking because of the way Adam talks. Look how you talking about our president right now.
What's up, Lady DC? Cool.
Hell, talking about Trump, like Biden not controlling anything. Only a Republican would say that. A Democrat would be like,
no, that's not true. That has nothing to do with party
wants him out. Every Democrat wants him out.
They want him out because he can't beat
Tina
Trump.
Said leave Adam alone.
No, don't say that. That ain't it. No.
He's old?
That's not why they want him out.
That is not.
They want Biden out because he cannot beat Trump.
That's exactly.
That's the only reason. If it was a clear path to victory, Biden would still be the nominee. I don't care if he was 100.
and your horse is losing, and you had the option of changing horses before the race ended, guess what? Everybody would have changed.
So here's the difference between the Republican and Democratic Party. Republicans, don't matter how crazy their candidate is, they're not talking or denouncing him. They're not going against him. Because Trump is a lunatic. But if you look at all...
But he your lunatic, because didn't you say he's a Republican?
I'm an independent.
He's a Trump supporter, and I don't believe that, though.
I'm an independent.
No, but I'm saying it's not true.
Well, you could be a Demublican. A Demublican.
You're a nut. Well, that's what I was saying. In the CPS case,
Basketball mom said, stay in your lane and leave Adam alone and forget about the traffic.
Well, on today's episode of Who's a Republican or Democrat on the Brunch Button? No. Listen, we talked about this story, so I did just want to give an update. Did anybody remember Carly Russell?
Yes.
All right.
Well, who wasn't remember
nearly a year after sending the nation into a frenzy over her disappearance and pleading guilty to faking the abduction, Carly Russell has broken her silence again. In March, Russell pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanors for filing a false police report in connection to the July 2023 fiasco. Around this time last year, the 26-year-old called 911 while driving down I-459 to report a lone toddler walking alongside the highway. Now, I hate to be the one who say, I told you so, but I was the first to say that it didn't sound right. Now, by the time the Hoover Police Department got to the location, officers said all that was left was her car and personal belongings. Now, the entire internet, as we do, went into a frenzy trying to dissect her 911 call and surveillance footage from the highway. Now, the local Hoover neighborhood exercised all their resources, scouring the area to look for any signs of her. Now, in the next 49 hours, authorities said she mysteriously returned home to her family and gave detectives a detailed story of how she was abducted by a couple and taken to an isolated location. However, pressure from the police department and, of course, the public eventually led to her come clean and admit the abduction was a hoax, per a statement from Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis. And I quote, "I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress. I absolutely regret my decision, and in hindsight, wish I had cried for help in a totally different manner," Russell told a judge during a hearing this year. As you can imagine, that didn't go over so well with the folks who dedicatedly spent time looking for her and praying she make it home safe. Nearly a year after the incident, she finally spoke out again. She spoke to Fox 5 Atlanta. And I quote, "I wasn't going to make a birthday post, but I would be remiss not to publicly acknowledge the goodness God has shown me," Russell wrote on Instagram on Monday. "He not only allowed me to see another year, but he changed the trajectory of my life from the negative place I was in this time last year." Now, in her birthday post, Russell thanked those close to her for their support. "To those who have been there for me, your kindness and support have meant the world to me," she wrote. "Whether it was a call, text, direct message on social media, post, prayer, thoughtful gift, or words of encouragement, nothing was too little, and each helped me to fight to live another day. Thank you sincerely for helping me find the light in the darkest of moments." Russell then acknowledged that she still had more challenges to face, writing, "The work is not finished yet. As I step into this next year of life, I am filled with the hope and optimism toward continuing to overcome challenges, cherishing those who cherish me, and embracing the future and God's plan for my life with an open heart and mind," she wrote. Now, her motive behind the hoax is still unclear to many. It's also unclear where she was during the 49 hours she was missing. What do you think?
Something that she said resonated with me. She said she was grateful for the people who poured into her and gave her the strength to live to fight to live another day, versus live to fight another day. Usually, like advocates like yourself, myself, and many other people that have been in the trenches with us, we use that saying, we live to fight another day. But it is real when you're talking about fighting to live another day. That means that you are in such an dismal abyss mentally that at some point, some life jacket, some life raft has to throw you an olive branch so that you just make it through the next day. Mental health is real.
It is.
And, when you do drastic measures like that, you're crying out. And when you involve the public, it does bring about a different connotation because the public has their opinions,
Yeah,
and they're not required to forgive you.
Because one of them just said she should be in jail.
Yes.
Well, and at first when I read the story, I'm like, I'm all about consequences and repercussions, as Adam likes to point out. Oh God, I was gonna put Granny in jail, but no, but I also believe in redemption and God's grace, right? And we all look for God's grace, and His grace is sufficient. But sometimes we forget the same grace that we want when we're talking about other people. And so I believe that she shouldn't be in jail. She got her whatever fines, her misdemeanor charges. Hopefully she's seeking help because God's grace is sufficient.
Well, what I would like to understand is why should she be in jail? Who did she harm? That's the same situation with Jussie Smollett. What did he do? What did either one of them do that brought harm to someone else that made it criminal?
Right. So Juicy shouldn't have went to
I want you to go off into
Jussie.
I just correlated that because it was the grand hoax of the moment.
Yeah.
And it really is saying that I'm in need of some support.
Stay lazy. He should be in jail too.
See?
You know what? See? God's grace is sufficient. It covers us all, and love will cover the multitude. So you know what? We're praying for Carly Lee, but I hope, because Juicy started it. Juicy Smollett, when he lied, made other people. He empowered other people to be able to, do
I'm so sorry I brought that up. Sorry about that.
But
I think I hear a song coming on. Does everybody else
now, if Juicy wanted to say some MAGA folks threw hot sauce on him, bleach out of a hot sauce bottle, today may be the day because Trump is in town. So maybe we'll believe it. But other than that, sorry, bro. And sorry, Carly. But we're praying for you because mental health is real. And we need to continue to pray for our people that God continues to cover.
Do you think Trump needs mental health?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Definitely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to go to song on that one, y'all. Keep it locked right here on this Vision 1390. We'll be back.
Talk about definitely crazy.
Because you're just sitting there going into a hole like, oh, Lord.
No, I was looking down to see the song. I was listening to you.
No, you were not. Hey, Roland, what's up? How is Brazil?
Stanley Lane said, but God is also no respecter person, so lying has a consequence. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey.
Hello, beautiful. Hi, how are you?
What's up, bro? Yeah. How you doing? Hi. Nice to find you. Yes, now, how do we pronounce your first name?
Shiny, like a shiny coin.
Okay, Shiny. I wanted to make sure.
That's pretty.
Jovan Jarrett.
You know Jovan Jarrett, no?
You got this pink on.
I see your nails. Yeah.
I'm
the roadie.
Yeah.
I'm here. So, full disclosure, I'm not an attorney. She's an attorney. She's the brains. I'm the full disclosure.
Okay. You stopped with the and then left it trailer. Yeah. I'm the
whatever needs to be done. So if y'all need something
all right.
Late driving.
Oh, okay, that's the reason.
Shots fired in close range from my wife. Whoa. We here in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, amen. Turn to your neighbor.
You need to. I don't even know what that is. It was our call in, but the phone's not working, so she's gonna come in tomorrow. That's what I want to know.
Not this billion.
I'm ready. Shots fired.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? That was that Trump traffic, Jovan.
Yeah, it was.
Don't keep me have to call in 6 by Friday.
Man, I can't believe that.
The engineers, I need to hear today.
What'd you say?
So that the engineers that would normally help us with this aren't even here today.
Oh, yeah, I saw him yesterday. Thank you. Turn to your neighbor.
Whenever you guys
do you remember
we like Freddie, we stay ready.
6. No, tell me what that is, DJ Philo. Yeah, I think
Yes,
Autumn is
she
on
is.
IG.
I'm bringing you guys in.
Uh-oh. You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and I'm proud to be posted with one of the most amazing, phenomenal. This woman is a superwoman.
Well, I'm going to assume you're talking about me. It's your girl, Tamara Fair, on the air, and I'm super excited for our guest in the studio today. Listen, Jovan and Shani Jarrett.
Yes. You know what? We want to first welcome back Jovan.
Yes.
He has been on the show. We want to welcome his beautiful wife. Let's give him one welcome.
So, and you said it right, because she is gorgeous.
Yes. She makes him look good. Look, Jovan and Shani Jarrett are from the Austin Jarrett Law Firm. Shani is the managing partner at Park Gold Group, and together they'll be sharing valuable insights on estate planning, setting up trust, protecting your assets, and discussing the biggest mistakes to avoid. We're excited to have them with us today. Believers, let's do it again. A warm brunch bunch welcome. All right, so Tamara.
So you know what? A lot of people really need this resource, protecting assets, estate planning. A lot of people think, well, if I have less than $100,000, I really can't consider what I have to be an estate. But really, let's start to dispel some of these misnomers so that people can get educated and prepared.
Well, I'm glad that's a great question, first off. And I think there's so many misnomers, especially in minority communities. What the major problem is that most people think, yes, if you have less than $100,000, you don't need it. That only wealthy people need to have an estate plan. And they think that if they just working, that they shouldn't start their estate plan. What we like to say at Park Gold Group is this. One, if you are employed, have a child, have any property, or have even $50,000 in the bank, you should have an estate plan. And what is an estate plan? That's what we have to be specific about. An estate plan is 1, a revocable trust, 2, a pour over will, 3, a power of attorney, and 4, a power of healthcare.
So 4 pillars.
There are 4 pillars, and you cannot have one without the other. And oftentimes, especially in the minority community, the misnomer is this, that they have a will, that's it. That is the biggest scam, fake news out there. And, you know, we always talk about with God that we have to have our faith and our spirit and our mind together, but we never talk about having our finances together. And that is the problem in our community, because with a will, you're going to probate. And probate is the worst possible thing in the world. It's the best thing for me and our firm because it makes us a lot of money. And the state, it makes a plethora of money for the state. But what it does to the regular person is it basically robs your inheritance. It stops generational wealth.
So can you repeat those 4 pillars? Because a lot of our audience take notes.
Absolutely. So the 4 pillars are: you must have a revocable living trust, a pour over will, a power of attorney, and a power of healthcare. Those are the most important factors when you're ever talking about estate planning, because you do not want to end up again in probate court.
In probate. Wait a second. I wanted to ask when I told you this.
Oh, you asked another one. I didn't know.
I didn't ask that. So people don't really they don't read the room, so to speak, right? So we started out with, if you had less than $100,000, you might think that you don't need a will, or you don't need an estate plan, right? Yeah. But look at just what happens in our communities. You might have some custom jewelry, an apartment, and guess who at the time of your maybe
art,
jewelry. No, wait. You might not have real art, but your family is going to go to that apartment of the deceased and fight over it like it was $100,000 plus estate. So that's why the plan is so important.
Yes. The best way I can describe it is I call probate court the divorce court of the dearly departed, because it gets that ugly. You think of divorce, that is what probate court is. I had a family recently that said that they spent $160,000 on their funeral for their son, who was a regular person, and he left 2 kids, one physically disabled. And you know what they really did? They went into his bank account, stole the money, fraudulently produced receipts, and said, hey, probate court, we $160,000. Oh, and by the way, we put it on YouTube for you.
You know what?
So now these 2 minors have no money. and their father is gone.
And that the saddest thing is, and I know, Tammy, this is a very interesting conversation, and we had to have it more in our community. But I saw a story just yesterday where a young lady that I know put up a video of her arguing with her sister, who her 82-year-old father, who's still alive, was having memory issues. So she became his power of attorney, sold his house, drained his bank account, and has been leaving the father on different family members' couches. And so by the time the sister found out, money gone, house is sold. And I heard the sister in the video saying, he gave me permission to sell a house. And she's like, how does somebody with dementia give you permission? But he didn't have any of this set up.
It happens all the time, especially in our community. It's our community, though.
But they say the old adage is, have no plan is the worst plan.
It's the worst plan, because there will be a plan. It'll be the state's plan.
Yes.
And whatever they
Somebody is going to make a plan for you.
If you don't have a plan, what are the repercussions of not having a plan?
The state is going to take anywhere from 25 to 30% of your assets. That is what probate court costs. 25 to 35% of your assets.
So I got a question.
What do they do with that?
Right. Whatever they want.
Whatever they want. And they're going to keep charging us high property taxes and everything else. But we are not going to.
This is America.
It's not going to be passed on to your kids or your grandkids or anybody else.
So I got a question for our community that's listening, because I know this is important. I hear this all the time, especially in the real estate industry, when we were looking at properties and we're like, we want that. Well, it's in probate. We don't know what the daughter is. Why is this important for someone to, especially if you just own your home, your property, some land, why is not just putting it in a will the right way to go?
Okay, so a will is literally a suggestion to the court. If you pass away, you are required to file your will with the county within 30 days of somebody dying. So that becomes public record, okay? And then the judge takes your will and they can literally just interpret it. So they're going to look at this will and they're going to say, hey, thanks for the suggestion. I'll see if I want to move forward with that, because your family members can object to it. Versus a trust, what you're saying when you have that pour over trust is you're saying, you know what, Your Honor, I've given everything already to my personal corporation. That's what your trust is, really. It's a corporation. I've given it to my corporation. So you know what, there's nothing in the estate. So thanks, but no thanks. I don't need your help. And nobody can contest it. You cannot contest your trust. You can contest your will. So if you got a son or a daughter that you've already given $50,000 to, and you wanted to intentionally disinherit them, you necessarily can't do that with just a will, because now they can come in and say, no, I want my inheritance. Prove to me, and you go. So, you know, you up in the upper room, you know, praise it with the Lord.
So that kid that, you know, disrespected you, hit you as a senior abuse, and you said, I'm done with them, I don't want them to have nothing. Once you're gone, they can get it all.
They can get it all. And let's not even just talk about that. Let's also talk about, what if you have that spouse also that does that? We also want to touch on that. That person can now claim their 50% interest in your property. So let's say you only left them 10%. And you just like, we living in two separate rooms. But you didn't go ahead and get that formal divorce filing. But everybody know in the family that y'all living in two separate rooms.
Or not even in the same house.
Or not even in the same house. And then that's how we do sometimes. That's okay. But if you pass away, guess what happens? They gonna get their 50%. And then they also have preference to be your spokesperson of your estate.
And you hated their gut.
And hated their gut. That's why we also got to talk about prenups and postnups. How about keeping your marriage together? That's also a part of estate planning. You got a job, women, you have a job, you getting married, protect your assets.
What's a
postnuptial agreement? I love these. Okay, so a postnuptial agreement is you already married. Okay, things that got a little funny in the marriage. You know, like, you know, I love you, but I don't know if we gonna go to the left to get this divorce, or we gonna go ahead and go forward. So let's put it in writing. Let's look at what we want. Let's put a plan together right now. Right now, this is what I have. This is what you have. This is what I want to see in the future. And if this does not happen, this is how we're going to go ahead and part ways. A lot of times it helps families come together, and oftentimes it makes a cleaner break if you don't make it. So it is something that I actually stress. If you never got a prenup, and let's say you're starting to make a little money and you're getting a little concerned, or you're getting concerned about your children, is the most important time. Somebody stepping out and you don't want your kids' assets to get split up by another child or something like that. That's when you put that postnup in place. You're still fighting for your marriage, but you just have a plan just in case. It's called the break glass in case of emergency.
Man.
So you said a lot. But I want to give you an example, and then I want to, once you finish this example, tell us how this family could have handled this better.
Okay.
And then I want to go into discussing biggest mistakes to avoid.
Oh, yes.
So let's say the family has a sizable property.
Okay.
The matriarch of the family passes away. She leaves a will.
Mm-hmm.
The real estate property was worth over $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Actually valued out to be about $3.2 million,
okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
She had one biological child,
mm-hmm.
one child that she adopted,
mm-hmm.
4 children that came from the adopted daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
She left the biological child 50%
mm-hmm.
and left all 5 of the others 10%.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 got together
mm-hmm.
and decided that they wanted to force a sale.
Mm-hmm.
It went to probate, even though
mm-hmm.
she left a will.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a pour over will in my life,
mm-hmm.
but apparently it didn't pour over.
It didn't pour over because she did not have a trust. So this
She
is what I was talking about. Will is fake news because she had her will, which is her suggestion to the court to say, hey, court, I want 50% to go to this one daughter and I want 10% to go to these other. That's the way I want to separate it. Well, when they went to probate to force the sale, Your Honor said, well, you know what? No, that's not the way this is going to go. 50% is going to go to the one child and the other 50% is going to go to the other child that was adopted legally. Those grandchildren would not get any assets from that. The only way they could have prevented this is when she set up her will, she would have also set up that revocable trust. So then that means her will then becomes a pour over will that says, hey, all of my stuff is in trust. So Your Honor, when you see my will, it says I don't have anything. I've already given it away to my personal trust.
So now, yeah, so
Jinx,
we did
you
that.
owe me a soda.
We did that like we just ate M&Ms.
Yeah,
but okay, so we understand the problems.
Yes.
How do we avoid the landmines?
All right, so there's several options. All right, so a lot of people don't have necessarily the money, and I can tell you another scam that's out there right now. It's called a TODI, which is a transfer on death instrument, and that is only popular again in minority communities, just like the fake news will. And what is it? A TODI is this. It basically says, upon my death, I am going to give you this house. It is quick, it's easy, it's cheap, and we've been our own worst enemy. We have been promoting it, okay? And the problem with it is only about 5 out of all of the states in America allow it. And what is the issue? Once you transfer it, if you do not file it within 2 years, it becomes void. So that asset that you thought you got rid of, actually you did not get rid of. That's number one. Number two, by you signing and saying, I am going to be the beneficiary of this, you actually obtain liability. That person's, the deceased person's estate now has attached to you, whatever, let's say they had healthcare bills or hospice bills. You know what? Those are your problem now. Welcome to it. That could have been avoided with the trust. That's the number one issue. Okay.
That's a good.
The number two, right, is one, not having a trust, right? You must have a trust. You cannot just have a will. Number three, a cheap option other than a TODI is a land trust if you have a property. A land trust, however, is a short-term fix. So I don't want you thinking that you can get a land trust and it be all in, because they're going to charge you every year about $300. Well, $300, let's say you keep this house for 10 years. $300 times 10 years, that's $3,000. You know what? You bought yourself a trust and some. Okay. So that is the issue. And anytime you have to refinance or anything, they're going to charge you more, $750 here, $550 there. So you've already exceeded your limit. So it is not a permanent solution. So we have to start saying, you know, we need our trust now. When? Now, right now. Okay.
When do we need it? Now.
Right. And we have to stop spreading misinformation. So that's what we need to do.
That's great information.
That is amazing information. You know, I think for anyone who is enlightened, who's a business owners, who has kids, who has a spouse, who got a situationship, and you got some money, you're listening to this and you're saying, you know what? This is good information, because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Absolutely.
So my question is, for those like me to saying, okay, if I do a trust now at my very young age, am I able to keep adding to the trust?
Absolutely. Once you have a trust, you can keep adding to it, and you can also amend it. And it is very cost effective to amend it. Let's say you like somebody yesterday and you don't like them the next day. You can take them off of that trust, and it is really simple. It's just a little sheet of paper. It is the simplest process, but you can add assets. So once you have your trust, if you buy multiple properties, you can purchase those properties into the trust. Okay. And so you do not even have to go through the whole weaving of filing a quick claim. You don't even want it in your name. You never want assets to touch your personal name because everybody knows it's yours then. Trust should be in actually your family name. That's how the Rockefellers made thousands of dollars by setting up a family trust.
So the follow-up question to that before we get out of here, so for the people listening saying, okay, what can I put into my trust? Can you give us
Okay, so number one, obviously properties, right? 2, 401ks, stocks, bonds, clothing, fixtures, art appliances, things of that nature. The most important thing that I have to tell people though is life insurance policies. Okay, you cannot leave the beneficiary of your life insurance policy to be a minor child, because if that minor child is still a minor when you pass, guess what? You're back in probate court. You have to have the beneficiary as a trust name. So do not leave. I don't have even bank accounts in my name. All of my bank accounts are in my trust name. Everything is protected. So if the Lord calls me home, my family has everything they need in place that they can just go into the bank and say, hey, I'm the new trustee. I'm the successor. This is mine. This is just business. Business keeps rolling.
That's
so we have a question off of Instagram that says, why should you put your home in trust, primary residential and investment properties?
Again, because you want to have a succession plan. So you are saying, when I am no longer here, what do I want to have done to this property? I want it sold. I want it kept. I want it saved. As far as a business owner, that is an asset. So what are you going to do with that asset afterwards? Are you going to sell it? How is your family going to get access to it? They're not on the name of it, so they can't just go sign the deed. There's no way to transfer that property over. So that is why you have to have, it's basically a corporate structure saying, if I'm not here, this is the next person that has signing authorization. If I'm not here, this person is next in line. You just have to set up that plan.
So here's something that really plagues our community. Sure. We own a property that still has a mortgage, and we pass away. We leave it to our children. Our children can't afford the mortgage, correct, but it's theirs. How do we avoid that landmine?
Okay, so again, if you have your property in trust, like I'm saying, in that situation, and you have a mortgage, then the family can immediately sell the house if they wanted to, or they can do what it's called is a refinance. So how I mean by that refinance is you are only refinancing for the amount of the mortgage left. So you have equity in the property. So let's say the house is worth $200,000, right? The mortgage left on the property is $50,000. Now, when you're going to a bank, because you are the trustee, right? You are saying, I actually have 75% equity and I only need a loan for $50,000 or 25%.
But my credit is $350.
Now that one I can't help you.
Right. You gotta have that.
Put a little Jesus on that. Okay.
Before we go on, because chat, listen to Facebook, Instagram are asking, how can they reach you? How can they get in contact?
Absolutely. So you can call our office at 630-590-9333. Again, 630-590-9333. You can like us on Instagram at Park Gold Group. You can see us on LinkedIn at Park Gold Group as well. So please reach out. We only do probate law, estate planning, and family law.
I love it. So my question before we get out of here, I got 20 of them. I'm trying to see which one real quick. Really quickly. So could you, in your trust, if somebody got some money and they got property, could you set it up where a certain percentage of this money is going to pay the mortgage for however long to make sure that it's paid?
You can break your trust up any which way you want to. So that's the benefit of a trust. You can split up 20 different people, 20 different payments
on one single property.
On one single property. You can say, this is what I want done. I want you to take this checking account, pay this off, and the rest is yours.
Listen, if you've been enjoying this and you have questions, you're interested, call 630-590-9333. That's 9333. Let them know that you heard about them on the Brunch Bunch, and you get you a free, look, I'm saying free consultation. Call and get a consultation.
You know what amazes me though? We plan for our children's education. We plan for weddings.
Absolutely.
And we don't know if we're gonna get married, and we don't know if we're gonna get an education. We know we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a given. It's a fact.
Nobody wants to face the fact. But I'll tell you this, believers, life guarantees us one thing, and that's that we live to die. But God guarantees us that we live to live again. Thank you, Miss Shani Jarrett, for joining us. Listen, Brother Jovan Jarrett, it's always great to have you. Believers, unfortunately, in the spirit of Glorilla, at the end of the day got in. We out of time. But make sure you call that number and get you some information.
And that number is 630-590-9333. Again, 630-590-9333.
We out.
Peace. Y'all, you guys were amazing today. The questions that you had, the comments that you had, make sure you call that number 630. It is on the Facebook page right now. It will be on all of our social media because this is critical information, and particularly for our community, because we are really not planners like that. We are starting to get to that stage, though. Don't just keep this information. Share it with your entire family. 630-590-9333. Y'all, we'll see you tomorrow. Have an amazing hump day. That was incredible.
Thank you, Autumn.
Oh my God.
That was great.